Every single morning, you wake up and immediately reach for your phone, mindlessly scrolling through social media, checking emails, and getting distracted by notifications. Before you know it, an hour has gone by and you've achieved absolutely nothing. This vicious cycle is slowly but surely ruining your life, one unproductive morning at a time. And if you don't put a stop to it right now, you're going to deeply regret it for the rest of your days. Listen, I get it. Our phones have become like extra limbs, always within arm's reach. But are you really living your best life if the first thing you do each morning is zone out on your tiny glowing screen? While you're wasting precious hours in mindless stupor, your competition is getting ahead. They're working on their goals, their fitness, their mindset. They're living with intention while you're just existing. It's time to break free from this soul-sucking morning routine once and for all. In this video, I'll share a simple 3-step system that will rewire your mornings for maximum productivity and life satisfaction. You'll learn the single most important morning habit that Bill Gates, Oprah, and Tony Robbins all share. And you'll discover shockingly easy tactics to make mornings a time you actually look forward to instead of dreading. But you have to act now. Every day you delay is another day you'll never get back. When you first wake up in the morning, your brain is in a truly remarkable state. You're experiencing peak levels of theta and alpha brainwaves, which are associated with a heightened state of relaxation, creativity, and learning. Studies show that people are able to absorb information better and think more creatively when alpha and theta are abundant. Rivansuo et al. 2010, Niazev 2012. It's a precious window of productivity before the busyness of the day kicks in. However, this window gets slammed shut the moment you pick up your phone. The pings, buzzes, and artificial blue light immediately pull you out of those beneficial theta and alpha states. Your brain shifts into the high-frequency beta waves associated with stress, analytical thinking, and fight-or-flight mode, Niazev 2012. Essentially, you're shattering your peak creative flow state and replacing it with a torrent of distraction and negativity before you've even started your day. Is it any wonder you feel so frazzled and unproductive by 10 a.m.? By habitually phone checking first thing, you're actively sabotaging your incredible morning mindset. Beyond just disrupting your precious morning mindset, that constant onslaught of notifications is quite literally rewiring your brain for distraction and reactivity. Every time your phone buzzes with a new email, text, or app notification, it triggers a dopamine release that trains your brain to crave that endless feed of new information. Uncafer et al. 2017. You become conditioned to incessantly check for new stimuli rather than focusing on the present moment and your priorities. Over time, this reactionary habit becomes deeply ingrained in your neurology and psychology. Your brain's neuroplasticity molds around this consistent pattern of seeking new inputs, sacrificing your ability to sustain focus and plan proactively. Bayer et al. 2016. You're essentially creating a Pavlovian dog situation where you're no longer in control. You're just mindlessly responding to each new ding and vibration. Is that really how you want to live your life, as a slave to endless digital pings rather than thoughtfully designing your days? From a very young age, most of us are taught what to learn, but very few are ever instructed on how to learn effectively. Schools cram our heads full of facts, figures, and subject matter, but rarely do they equip us with the foundational cognitive skills required to truly absorb and retain that knowledge. Essential techniques for improving memory, sustaining focus, and achieving mental clarity are largely neglected. Dunlosky et al. 2013. It's a major oversight that puts an entire generation at a severe disadvantage. We're expected to succeed in an increasingly competitive, information-overloaded world, armed with fragmented, suboptimal study habits. No wonder so many bright students struggle. Their basic operating system hasn't been upgraded to meet modern learning demands. If you didn't have the opportunity to cultivate these vital skills earlier, you're likely struggling with antiquated mental software that's holding you back from your full potential. You know that feeling when you study hard for an exam, feel like you really know the material, and then just days later, it has completely escaped your mind? That maddening experience is known as the forgetting curve. wherein we forget an average of 70% of new information within just 24 to 48 hours if we don't actively reinforce it. Ebbinghaus, 1885. It's one of the most frustrating and ubiquitous challenges of the learning process. Yet very few of us are ever formally taught effective techniques to get off the forgetting curve and cement new information into long-term memory. We're just expected to reread notes and highlight texts, which are among the least effective ways to solidify new learnings. By not being trained in memorization methods like spaced repetition, retrieval practice, and memory palaces, we're needlessly forgetting most of the knowledge we worked so hard to obtain in the first place. It's a massive waste of human potential that better learning education could quickly solve. At the core of all these harmful habits is one key distinction. Are you living as a thermostat or just a thermometer? A thermometer simply reflects the current temperature of its environment. It's purely reactive, just reflecting what's around it with no ability to influence or control the condition. A thermostat, on the other hand, can be purposefully set to the desired temperature. It takes charge and creates an intentional climate rather than just mirroring the existing one. According to research, the happiest and most successful people overwhelmingly live as thermostats. They proactively shape their environments, mindsets, and circumstances. Lubomirsky et al. Reactive thermometer people allow external factors like notifications, newsfeed, and circumstantial moods to dictate their thoughts and emotional states. But thermostats consciously control their focus, inputs, and cognitive frames to create their desired reality, rather than mindlessly mirroring the thermal conditions around them. This proactive approach is indispensable for achieving true life satisfaction and potential. I know. This all sounds great in theory, but how do you actually build the discipline and focus to proactively shape your life? The good news is, focus and self-control are habits that can be trained like muscles at the gym. In her book Grit, researcher Angela Duckworth found that the most successful people weren't necessarily the most talented, they were the most disciplined and tenacious. They cultivated habits that allowed them to stay focused on their goals despite distractions and setbacks. Some proven strategies include creating regularized routines, removing obvious temptations from your environment, and practicing mini habits of focus throughout the day. Duckworth, 2016, Goleman, 2013. You can also try the 20-second rule by introducing a minor 20-second delay before checking a notification or context switching. You're building your mindfulness muscle. It's also crucial to intentionally schedule restorative downtime to avoid burnout, but the key is being proactive about your focus rather than just reactively putting out fires. With consistent practice, you can rewire your mindset and habits to prioritize what's truly important. The path ahead is clear. You can choose to remain a thermometer, mindlessly reflecting the chaotic inputs and urgency addictions of our distracted world. Or you can take control of your psychology and train yourself to be the thermostat, purposefully setting the temperature for a focused, productive, and fulfilling life. Don't resign yourself to living reactively at the mercy of those incessant digital pings. You're better than that. You have the power to rewire your mornings and subsequently your entire day for maximum impact. If you don't make this critical change, the consequences are dire. You'll continue leaking precious willpower and cognitive resources first thing every morning. Your goals, relationships, and sense of life satisfaction will suffer as you frantically try to recover from yet another unintentional, social media-induced dopamine bender. Don't let another day slip through the cracks of bad morning habits. Take charge of your mindset by applying the morning protocol and brain hacks I've shared. You've got this. I want to hear from you. What are your biggest morning focus killers and challenges? How have distracted mornings negatively impacted your life up until now? Share your stories, insights, and commitment to upgrading your morning mindset down in the comments. And if you found value in this video, sincerely thank you for watching, but the real work has only just begun. It's time to change your life by changing your mornings, one intentional habit at a time.